Welcome to Instant Discussions.
Is that on?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh.
Kind of why I started the thing, because I was saying it's, welcome to Instant Discussions, episode 27.
Oh, Batman!
Batman!
I see you found your voice, Batman.
Batman Under the Red Hood.
Yeah!
Picked out by Tony. I was looking back, it was really on my queue, because, as soon as this one came out, I've been wanting to watch it, and I never got around to it, so thank you.
That's why I chose it.
It's a very, draws a lot of attention, the front cover, because I had always noticed it because of the freaking huge red face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard to miss.
Yeah. It is an exciting looking cover to it.
And I hadn't noticed until the end that it was made just recently, 2010.
Yeah.
Right?
The first time, the reason I brought it up, well, besides me needing to think of something really quick, was I saw it at Comic-Con and everyone was amazed at the beginning where, it's Joker. First of all, it's not Mark Hamill, so you're like, what? What's going on?
That's a little odd because we're so. I don't know if you watched all of the animated.
No, I know Mark Hamill's.
Yeah. And then
even in Arkham Asylum and the games, right?
Yeah. He's been a prominent voice of it,
and he does it really well.
And they've had many people play the Joker over the years, but he had done it for so long and done it so well.
Yeah.
But instead, you got Bender. So.
Yeah.
I know. When I saw that when it was first film. I'm like, what?
John DiMaggio.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
I think he did a really good job. It sounded very similar to Mark Hamill's, but still had his own take to it. But I think he did a great job of imitating that one.
I think especially because this Joker was so much more evil than other cartoons.
Yeah.
One of the things that drew me in right away was the beginning where you see him beating the crap out of Robin.
Yeah,
with
I think
this one.
I liked a lot of scenes of seeing the Joker in the past, and I think this one really it was one of them. It kind of added to some of the other ones that made me really like the Joker and his character. He's pretty violent in the beginning of that. Beating Robin to death, and then as he's struggling to get up and falling, and then the timer's about to go off, and we've seen this before. Batman's going to rush in and save the day in the last. Oh no, not so much. Blown up, dead. So we begin with dead Robin.
It's a good way to begin a film.
Yeah, no, it's a good one.
Attention getter.
So I was looking up the comics for this. The basis of this under the Batman Under the Hood.
Under the Hood.
Yep, was from 2000.
Goes to Compton.
The sewers of Compton, under the hood. From 2005, 2006. So it didn't take them too long to make that into the movie. So it's not like they're adapting something super old for this. And then the other storyline from The Death in the Family, I'm going to assume that was the first part. So under the second part of it, and then the first part would be Death in the Family. That's my assumption there. That was from 1980s. So kind of taking some time in there. And it starts off with saying 5 years later.
Not 30.
So many years. No, not 30 years later in this one. That's one of the thing about Batman. They do span time in the comics, but not as much as actually takes place in the time of writing them.
Yeah.
Because Bruce Wayne is Bruce Wayne the whole time. I mean, he doesn't pass on, but we get other Robins. The first one, Dick Grayson, who shows up in here as Nightwing. Does that happen to him? And then Jason, who
it was Bruce Wayne would be like.
I know
he's
zero
a
lore.
Man.
I know zero Batman lore other than
So that's exciting because I know.
I never even knew who Nightwing was.
I know quite a lot of Batman stuff, and it was interesting in this one because it sort of they don't have to do the origin story of Batman because you don't have to do that in the comics. It's nice seeing a Batman film that doesn't have to explain all that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like every time we see a Spider-Man film, it's like, all right, now he has to get bit by the spider, and his uncle has to die, and it's like going through the origin stuff. Like we know this.
Yeah. Even with the Batman movies.
Yeah.
They show
every time they do a new one, you got to do the new showing up and showing how it goes. You can't just take it all right, we know this. Which the new one, it sounds like they'll finally do that with the Superman's Batman one, where they're introducing the new Batman in there. So we don't have to see another origin story of Batman. It's and this is Batman, you know him, right? All right, let's go.
Hopefully they won't, unless they change something.
But in some of this, they do have a lot of exposition in there that is a little... I see it. You see it a lot in comic books, the way that it's written in there. It's a little
like,
rough.
one of the really cheesy parts was that big, huge, alien dude gets buffed, and then the two robbers or two guys are just talking about
what's
who's that?
And then Batman.
That's not whatever. He was his old partner before Robin.
Where they're explaining all those things. There's a little bit of that explanation where that's for you who doesn't know these things, so they have to explain.
Once again, it's like a cartoon.
Yeah, I know.
That's the part where it's kind of flawed, where it's not like
because a lot of people don't know who Nightwing is.
No, I didn't. I was just kind of laughing at myself. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, even though you're learning something, you're still like, okay, this is. It could have been explained in a little better way. Like if this didn't have that first scene in it, and they'd have to do the explanation of, oh, that's Jason, who was his second sidekick who had died 5 years ago by by showing it, you don't have to do that. But it would be too much to have to show the stuff with Nightwing and his going back in there.
Yeah.
Though they do show, I do like the way that they dealt with that history in Kevin Smith's book of the Lightning Geyer. Show the Dick Grayson backstory of the Nightwing. They deal with a lot of that.
Kevin Smith's
a good one.
No, I don't know.
It's a good one. Check that out. I don't read a lot of comics, but I read a few of the ones. Those are fun ones. But it's so for the person under the Red Hood.
That part made me laugh too.
Where they're shooting at.
Like they've all got several guns pointed at the Red Hood.
Yeah.
And then he just pulls out the one machine gun, and then they're like, all these big mafia bosses, oh shit, we better listen to him. Fuck.
The criminals in Batman,
we better just be his pawns and bitches.
Like, I mean, a lot of them kind of
he's one dude with a gun.
Especially in the cartoons, they don't they follow more closely to Batman's rules with more of they do more of the intimidation and not as much of the killing and stuff. So when someone's actually killing people, it's like, oh, this guy's serious. We just have these guns for intimidation. We're gonna shoot around you.
Is this made for kids? What is the rating?
No, I mean
PG-13.
It's made for the typical comic book audience of the teenager thing.
Can they not show killing in PG-13?
No, you can. It's the way that Batman likes to operate. It's his philosophy. He doesn't kill.
Right, but the Red Hood would.
Yeah, and he does.
Yeah,
he totally does this. But I'm saying that throws them off because
full of heads at the beginning.
Yeah, so they're used to Batman.
Yeah,
in their city, and the way that he operates, he's going to throw them up in Arkham Asylum or
throw them in jail.
Yeah, and then they're going to get out eventually and look at Mac.
Not going to kill them.
They know they're safe with that, and but the problem is that you introduce someone else who does kill.
Yeah. Who is trained by Batman and pretty much is very similar to Batman in its fighting styles.
So I'm glad that they kind of revealed who was under the Red Hood quickly, because it's obvious because they show you the first part that this guy dies, and then 5 years later this guy shows up who's really well trained. So it doesn't take too long to make that connection of somehow he came back to life, because in comic books no one ever dies.
Well, I wouldn't say, at first I didn't assume that, because in the Batman universe, Joker comes out of nowhere, no one knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yes.
He seems like he knows what he's doing. He somehow is able to charisma check his way out of every situation and manipulate the hell out of everybody.
But what's the reason of us showing that death in the beginning? It either has to show him haunted by that death, and Batman's reaction to that, which then
I know. From super meta perspective, you could
it's just in the example of how they're presenting it to us.
Yeah,
they're presenting it to us in the way of, you need to see this death, and now this guy shows up, and he's really well trained and all of this. So I'm glad they you know it before Batman realizes it, but and then Batman realizes it later. But they also established that the Red Hood has been a moniker other villains have used. They're just it's one of those that different people turn on, like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah.
So
there was actually a scene that I'd seen randomly about this. I think I was just randomly scrolling YouTube, looking at random Joker stuff, and I had seen the glass of water scene.
That was a good one.
Before I'd seen this, and so I was like, when I saw that it was, I saw that the what's this called, Black Hood? what's it?
Black Mask.
Black Mask. Like right when I saw him, and I was just like, and I saw I saw Joker art. I was just like, oh, this is the one with that. Yeah. I was just like, oh, that scene's totally out.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
And that's one of the reasons why I like this. Is actually, I think it's closer to the later Joker characters, where he does in the comics do crazy stuff and kill a lot.
Well, I was reading about him and how that was when he was very first introduced. That's what he was doing. But it was the comics code when that was introduced, which was pretty early on that was introduced. That's when he just became more of a prankster, and it was with the 60s. So he became more of just doing pranks because they couldn't show killing in comic books. They couldn't do that. So now he's back to where he was in the beginning. So it's not like they've changed it now for a new audience to make him more violent. That's more of his original roots, and they were just censored for a while.
And one of the things I like too is, like, I think a lot of people see Joker as having like a little flower and shooting acid out, stuff like that. And this one he cuts him and shoots him and just douses him with gasoline. I mean, that was kind of insane to watch a decent cartoon.
I like the kind of Joker who he gets away with this shit because he goes balls out every time and they don't expect it. They don't expect him to go balls out because if he goes balls out, he's putting his life in danger. Also, that's the kind of man Joker is.
Yeah, because he wants to die.
Yeah.
That's another part of him. He completely wants to die. Yeah. He keeps going to Batman and it's like, kill me. Please kill me. Why won't you kill me? Aren't you going to kill me? Kill me.
We're going to die together in this explosion.
But Batman won't let him die. So he's having fun. The Joker's having fun with that.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be fun for him to just kill himself. But he wants to die with Batman or do something.
Well, yeah, he also wants Batman dead, though. He wants to die and have him. And he doesn't even want to kill Batman.
He doesn't want to kill Batman.
He doesn't want to kill Batman and him be alive, also.
Yeah, they both have to die.
They have to both die together, or have Batman kill him, which would completely change him and then turn down. Like, yes, but I do like the way that Red Hood was going about this. That Jason former Robin was going about this, and it's that idea of seeing the way that Batman operates, and saying that Batman never kills any of these people, so the criminals are still around. They're still out there, no matter how much they do to Batman or any of his friends or family. No matter the worst that any of them do to him, he still lets them live. And so
Batman even says it haunts him every single day that he lets these people live.
Yeah.
He doesn't really want to, but he knows if he goes down that path, that he'll continue.
So that's why Red Hood's trying to clean up the streets and actually kill them. Let's just get rid of the criminals.
I love the comparison. I love the comparison of. I mean, he's doing what Batman wants to do, and he's even could be accomplishing it in
He was accomplishing it pretty well. He was putting the crime people against each other and making them fight each other, and then getting to the point where they've got them. The majority, like all the bad people in this tanker. Joker's about to just kill them all. All right, he kills them all. Then he kills Joker. Done. Crime's done for a while in Gotham. But, no, Batman can't allow it.
His filthy code.
Stupid codes.
And interestingly, in that moment where Red Hood, had Joker in his hands, he's just like, if you don't kill me, I'm killing him.
Yeah.
And I think, even in his head, he knew that where he had gone, and that he was killing people, and that even he, had maybe crossed a line. And I think, even there, he was that's why he was okay with that.
Yeah.
If Batman killed him, it would be at the same time of getting rid of him and getting rid of that crime mystery. It would also actually be making Batman actually face that and kill somebody and put him in that situation where it's sometimes you need to fucking just kill somebody.
Yeah. One of the other things I liked was when Jason Todd was talking to the mob bosses. He's like, "Okay, you guys push your heroin and stuff and do your stuff, but stay away from the kids.
No kids.
Stay away. Deal to shitheads. I'm cool with that." Let them overdose on heroin.
Just not those orphans.
Yeah.
So it's less of the orphans.
Yeah. Still doing the good stuff with that. So we have the film playing in the background, so you can watch this. The scene of a former Red Hood.
The flashback Red Hood.
Yeah. Flashback Red Hood falling into there, and the Joker cards coming up. Yeah. Therefore, meaning that he would be the Joker. That's one of the origin stories of the Joker is him falling in there and then turning white. So, but he would have already been the Joker just without the facial abnormalities in there.
Oh,
that was one of the stories of his origin.
Huh.
Yeah.
And I kept on thinking that the Joker was going to tell me to bite his shiny metal ass.
Right.
He never did.
I was waiting for it. Didn't come.
And I was also really impressed. I saw that Neil Patrick Harris was in this.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, when I was watching it, I didn't realize who he was.
Oh, I did.
I didn't catch it. Like,
Yeah, the first time I watched it through,
the voice was different enough for me that I didn't see it. Like, but after I went up and looked it up, and I went and went back to a scene with whatever his name is in it again, and I listened to him, like, oh yeah, okay, I can hear it now.
I'm pretty quick with catching his voice, and I got it as soon as he started talking, as soon as Nightwing showed up.
Yeah, Nightwing, that's it.
Yeah, I got Neil Patrick Harris's voice, but for me, I saw John DiMaggio's name in there, and I heard him in some of the ancillary voices.
Yeah.
But even when I was hearing Joker, you still heard a bit of Mark Hamill in it, because he was doing a similar impersonation of that. So I was starting to think of, like, did they just not credit him? Because I didn't know how much Joker was going to be in this story. So did they not credit Mark Hamill in the beginning part of it? They're just going to credit him in the end. And John DiMaggio is just the ancillary characters in there. But then when he was falling into the lava, or the fire, or whatever, acid pit thing, when he fell into there, that's when I first heard, like, clear John DiMaggio voice. So that more solidified that for me that it was him. But yeah, that was one that still, I think he's getting close to that voice on there.
Yeah.
But not really, I don't think any of them hid as well as Philip Seymour Hoffman did.
Oh, yeah.
That one. Not as many, so there was no really big surprise for me like that one.
That one's ridiculous,
Yeah.
though. Like, I really want to know... I don't want to get off track here anyway.
Just if that was augmented.
Yeah. Well, voice acting is it's a very interesting thing with a lot of television voice actors who do the majority of voice acting and stuff. People that do animation for television, they don't always get hired for the big animated films. They usually they generally cast film actors, live action actors in those roles, so that they're recognizable. But then they sound like themselves. So you end up just hearing the same voices, and they don't hire the people who do voice acting for a living for the big films, which is kind of lame. But, so that's one thing. And here you do get people like John DiMaggio get to be in this, though you do have Neil Patrick Harris in it, who's not as much of a voice actor as the other ones. So you still have names in this one. It's kind of a mix.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys think about the ending scene? That was my favorite scene, and I thought it was just amazing the way they had Batman and Red Hood, but then the Joker, it really, like, told you a lot about his character. Like, the ending scene for me was amazing. When I first saw it, I was just like, my eyes were wide, and I was just so happy.
In the standoff scene?
The standoff scene, and, you know, he has to... It's just the Joker made it, like, he's like, no, we're gonna have a party, and, like...
Well, he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't
party
know
pooper.
He doesn't know who Red Hood is there because he's crazy. He's not masterminding a lot of this stuff. He's just having fun. While everyone else is masterminding around him and using him as a pawn and everything, but not realizing how out of control he is. Because first Ra's al Ghul tries to control him, and that's in that backstory that he tells.
Oh, that was a great scene too.
Yeah, that was
Oh, God.
it was nice to hear all of that stuff about there. And that was another thing that I had, not reading as many of the comics. I remember when Ra's al Ghul showed up in the Batman trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy, that we were expecting him to actually come back in Dark Knight Rises, because the Ra's al Ghul does that, goes to the Lazarus pit. They didn't put that in there, and he just kind of came back in spirit. Did the whole Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of thing more. So it was interesting seeing him in this, and they called him Ra's al Ghul. They pronounced it Ra's al Ghul here. That's your Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, I heard that, and I was just like...
I don't know.
This
But they're
someone
comic
else
book
that-
people. I don't know. No, it's not a different person. It's the same person. The crazy League of Shadow things. Interesting to see how friendly Batman was with them, kind of
Yeah,
coming
right.
and going.
Yeah, that was... Yeah.
That happens more in this universe. That's why that kind of makes that Nolan universe stand so separate, because they do treat it more realistically, as much as you can realistic with that.
Right.
Just to not
With the universe, that's right.
Yeah, but it's this cartoon. It is more cartoony in that sense that they're comics. They're characters.
I love Black Mask, how he has like this 1970s Scarface white suit on. It's just so, it's so like, I don't know.
He's got a bunch of bling rings on him too.
Yeah. And it doesn't really match his voice. I was waiting to be like, okay, mate, it's okay. And then he just, I love how he just beats
Not
the
everyone
crap.
wearing that suit automatically gets the
Automatically
Scarface
gets the
voice.
Scarface voice.
Just starts
Comes
beating the
with the
shit out of every one of his.
yeah.
like,
He takes out his
bodyguards.
aggressive, like, I'd hate to be his bodyguard or whoever.
Yeah.
The woman's just really calmly. Just,
He's fighting against himself in this case, taking himself down because Red Hood takes half of his people away from him, and then he starts a war with Red Hood, but fighting his own people and killing them off. And greatness, and all that. Yes. So the standoff scene, kills the. They wanted to almost going to kill them all off, but then saves them. You've got the explosion.
Yeah.
Saves them all.
it's the classic. I want to bring you to the dark side. I want to bring you to the light side.
Yeah.
And then someone finally has to give, or something has to happen.
Yeah. So Joker's not planning any of that stuff. He doesn't realize who Red Hood is until he takes off the mask and everything. But
And he's really excited too.
Yeah, he wanted to find it out, but like even the beginning and all that, like it didn't stick in his memory because that's just some another person I'm just beating up, having fun doing.
To him, that's just
How does this crowbar feel, huh?
Yeah.
Feels like a fucking crowbar.
Yeah, Joker's got some problems.
Nah,
He's not a normal guy.
pretty normal.
Yeah. So before this, you're familiar with the Nolan series at least, and
And
you
all
watch the Tim Burton ones.
Yeah, I watched
and
all
the
those.
Swallows ones.
My favorite of those is the Penguin, and
Yeah.
that one's the best. Batman Returns, I think. 'Cause-
Yep.
Yeah.
I believe so.
More than the Nolan ones?
No, I said
No,
of that.
of the
Oh, the old. Okay.
yeah of the Tim Burton Schumacher series.
Are you saying that you didn't like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
It was an ice movie.
Okay, look. I'll even say this: watching that one again with riff tracks, mind you, even with riff tracks, in which I thought it was going to make it a little bit more tolerable to watch it all the way through. It was.
I don't know. I rewatched that one recently. And
I just couldn't. I don't know. It was too much for me.
With those
Ah, the
black
movie was
lights?
fine.
That's the one with the black lights,
Yeah.
right? And they're in the alleys, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh god.
Yeah, the movie's fine. It's like like watching a cartoon.
It's horrible.
Schwarzenegger was the best part.
He's fun. I like this.
All those like his one-liners. I don't know. I thought those were funny.
Oh god, the one-liners.
and then Bane.
But the thing is like it's in that film is it's everyone has one-liners constantly throughout the whole frickin' thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I was trying to count all of
too much.
all
Like,
of
yeah, you just
Arnold
gotta-
Schwarzenegger's, but I couldn't.
Which one was with the chubby Batgirl? Lisa Silverstone.
Chubby. I call it Chubby. That was
That
the
was
last
the
one.
motorcycle. Thing.
Yeah.
I only liked
It was
that
at
one
least-
because I thought
Oh,
I had a crush
It was
on
at
her.
least the last
Wasn't
one.
that the one with Poison Ivy
Yeah.
and Bane
Yes.
being Poison Ivy's bitch? And,
Yes.
yeah.
He was born in the shadows.
Yeah. Or because of toxins. Either way,
Yes.
same thing.
Yes. He is born in the shadows.
Ooh.
The animation. I was interested watching the animation style on this. Wanting to do animation and seeing the how much you can get away with simple motion in a lot of it, because it's still done like they would a television show
Uh-huh.
of it. So it's not the full animation you'd get if this was made for theatrical release as a big animated film.
Which is interesting. They have the box office.
Yeah, I'm sure it got some release, but it wasn't, playing wide release every theater. Instead of maybe
Yeah, but it was
6.9
made
million.
for
No.
DVD or
Yeah.
streaming.
Yeah, and so I think it was good with that, but it doesn't. While the story is a great story, the way it's presented is still presented as you would like a special episode of the Batman animated
No, it was
series.
reminiscent of the old one from the 90s
Yeah,
as far as the style.
yeah.
Except this one doesn't look as like I guess 50s-ish or 40s
Sure.
style.
Talia al Ghul appears as a non-speaking role in the film. I remember seeing her in that. There's Marion Cotillard from Dark Knight Rises.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Esteban Matos as sexy guy number 1. That was one of the credits. fits in here.
I wonder what this got. Did they have the Rotten Tomatoes at the bottom?
No.
Oh, I believe it had 100%.
What? Really?
I do believe Rotten Tomatoes score. Yeah, it holds 100% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
100%.
Well, that's according to Wikipedia. Why don't we just go to Rotten?
I'm sure it'll be the same. I'm sure this
He's one of those skeptics that are like, only 1% of Wikipedia is real. The rest is all made up.
No,
people who don't believe Wikipedia.
I'm just saying, like, if it's just one website away or whatever, I don't know. I just don't see.
Watch me get on, and it's like 2%.
But I mean, I just.
And I guess it makes sense because the people who are going to rate this
100%.
are going to give it.
But there's
a
only
good
7
score.
reviews because it didn't get like theatrical
Yeah.
release.
So that's what I'm saying.
People
Like,
who did review it.
Well,
more input.
Yeah, audience is 88%.
I could agree with the 88%.
Yeah.
So I'm saying for the people that, I think that the 100% holds true in the sense that if you're going to be interested in this stuff, for the critics that watch these movies, these Batman movies,
Okay.
for DC Universe, if you're watching a comic book movie, this is good, and it's not 100% as in on a scale from 1 to 10 how much you like it. It's was it good? Was it bad?
Right. No,
Rotten Tomato
I
works.
understand.
Yeah,
So,
so since Rotten Tomato works like that, I think everyone can agree. Every comic book fan can agree. This is a well done.
yeah, I don't disagree with
Yeah.
the fact that they all said yes. This is a good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the cast pictures.
Bender.
It's Bender. That's
It's just a picture of Bender. It's so great.
Well, because he's a voice actor. See, all the film actors, they get,
That's funny.
pictures of them because they do films.
That's
But
funny.
John DiMaggio doesn't do live action stuff, so it's just
a picture
it's
of
a picture of Bender.
He's great, too, watching him on the panel.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Bender.
He's
Like, the way he acts, he's just out there like, he's taking over every conversation. Oh, God. Like, people were talking, he's like, blah, 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 blah.
Are you sure he's not just in character? Like, I would do
He
that.
could have been.
If I was him,
He's
like,
just
if I was a
I
voice
think he's
actor,
just an enthusiastic guy.
I would just
He's
be a
very
fucking character when I was up there,
Yeah.
like, because that's what the fans want, right?
Oh, yeah.
They
Oh,
wanna
yeah,
see
everybody
Bender.
was eating
They don't
it.
want to see John DiMaggio. They want to see Bender.
Yeah, but unless John DiMaggio is that cool, and then you want to see John DiMaggio.
But maybe if he wasn't, like, if he knew he wasn't,
I think he's good enough at playing cool.
You know, speaking of with this scene, at
Not
the,
that I don't
at
know.
the end, one scene I really liked was when Alfred was like, "Should I get rid of the Robin costume?" He's like, "No, this doesn't change anything."
Yeah, because he still looks at Robin in his life before he died.
Yeah.
The first time. That's the memory that he's holding on to.
Yeah.
He's not holding on to the memory after he was brought back from the Lazarus pit. Interesting that Riddler never talks in this one too. I'm just like
That's
waiting.
more money.
I know, but I'm like,
But
waiting
you know
for him.
what,
Like, he's gonna say a pun, he's gonna say some joke, and no.
I like how they show the fight with the
Can't
Riddler
him.
because it's supposed to be a while ago and it is like the old school, Adam West Batman at this point with throwing marbles and crossbows and all that.
Yeah, it's silly Robin.
Yeah.
I mean,
silly everything.
yeah, Robin as himself is the boy wonder. He's not. He's more silly, and that's why Dick Grayson moves on to being Nightwing because it gets more serious.
Yeah.
Nightwing can actually
Kick him
be
and
next
jump.
to.
You gotta grow up sometimes. I think he was. Didn't he become a Teen Titan first and then Nightwing?
I think so. I do believe so. Crazy Teen Titans. So yeah, comic book fun.
One thing I will say, like, some people have stigma against watching, like, animated stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's, like, a huge shame, because there's just so much you can do with animation that you can't do...
Oh, yeah,
like,
it would
in
take
real life.
such a higher budget to be able to get all
Yeah,
of these.
to be able to, and I thought of it back when they were doing the blip jump. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, to do that in real life...
It's kind of ridiculous watching them do that jump to like.
Yeah, right? Like, to do that in real life,
Like gravity
that's a lot of money. To do it
Yeah.
here, they
Oh,
probably
yeah.
only do like a couple.
Well,
Not much.
that's the thing is the comic book itself is the easiest form of telling these stories.
Yeah.
Because you're getting it out there in just the images, storyboards.
Yeah.
You've got it, and then it's released, and you can get that story. This brings it to life with the voice acting and the movement, so you get more depth to watching it than just the book. And it's a little, it's more expensive to do that, but then to go one step further and make the film. That's why we only get so many Batman movies every so often.
Yeah.
But we can get a comic book every month.
It's weird for me for comic. Like, I think one of the reasons I don't like comic books is because for some reason, like, I'll have problems connecting like sometimes I'll get lost in the action that's occurring between storyboards.
I
don't know.
Like,
wait, how do you get
imagination?
too much imagination. My
my
issue is there's
imagination
just too many of them
can leave me so
to get into. Like,
Yeah,
creating them
that's
since
why-
the 40s, and you're like, I don't have time to do all these.
That's why I get the trades. I
Yeah,
don't get singles or whatever. I like a whole
those
story.
are the ones I like too. Like, and especially after it's been out for a while too, and I
Yeah.
know, like, all right, this is a classic one. I'm gonna go. All right, I'll go read Civil War. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll read Watchmen. Nice collected stuff.
Yeah,
Rather than having to get the issues and being like, oh, this is a great first issue. This second issue is all right.
Well,
No, this
especially
third
like you
one's
said
not
with
good at all.
Civil War, they take comics from different series and put them together.
Yeah,
And you're like,
you make it into
"Alright."
one thing. That's a good one. Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, going back to like,
I didn't
it's so
read
true
those things.
for
I
the.
haven't tried giving those a read yet.
Have you seen about animation?
Hmm?
Like, there's so many great animated movies out there that could like, for instance, Princess Mononoke.
Right?
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I was
I'm not gonna, I don't want to say my opinion about a certain thing about it, but yeah.
on the Kevin and
Certainly.
Bean show. On Kevin and Bean. he doesn't watch animated.
Hopefully
anything
he'll-
because he says he creeps him out.
Come out.
Which is it's terrible to take an entire
Yeah.
form. It's the same thing of being like, I don't watch live action. Like the say to
Well, this guy
cut
doesn't
out-
watch anything that's black and white either.
no, that's Kevin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kevin doesn't watch anything older, black and white. Could talk about Kevin and me forever.
Yeah. It's funny though, because like while I'm saying that, like I don't watch horror films really.
Yeah,
Except
which
for
is a shame.
the clown.
You cut them out entirely, but you still like.
There are horror films I like,
Yeah,
and I recognize that they do exist. It's just few and far between. And
Oh, I
so
think
I don't
there's-
waste my time with the mass of it. I wait for recommendations and
yeah.
post movie out.
Other clowns. Yeah.
I thought it was very interesting as I was going through my Netflix, where it shows you the categories based on the stuff that you watch. So I got my list here. It's like violent foreign revenge films, and then scary cult supernatural movies from the 1980s, and then Disney family feature animation. So based on the stuff that I watch,
Those are very
Children of the
specific.
Corn is really good.
but I like that it's all these like disturbing, horrible stuff, and then
Disney family
Disney family features.
They should mix them.
I know. I've been trying to get for
Violent
violent
Disney.
foreign revenge Disney films.
Pocahontas' tribe comes back.
So what did you rate this then?
I rated it a 5. I want to see more because there's a lot of comic book movies on Netflix that aren't any good, and this one is really good, and hopefully I'll see more like it. So I give it a 5.
Yeah,
Was that your that's your Netflix conscientious rating?
well,
Yeah, I mean even without Netflix, I'd give it like a 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I really like the story, and Batman used to be my favorite superhero, so
Who's it now?
not crime fighter,
Punisher.
comic book hero, crime fighter. I don't like to call Batman a superhero
Oh yeah,
because he doesn't have any superpowers. That's what I like about him.
Which is why I like Punisher, because he's basically Batman with a lot of guns and he's willing to kill people.
His superpower is he's rich,
He's kind of like Rorschach.
and he was trained in.
Yeah, Punisher's interesting. I like Punisher
Martial
in
arts?
Civil War.
Oh yeah. Oh god. I can talk about that forever.
Or if you thought he was a superhero because he's rich and is trained in years and years of martial arts, you can think of it like superheroes are possible.
But not really super though. Just
So what did you guys give it?
I give it a 3.5.
But
But that's
expecting that.
I know this is the thing is it's
I thought you were gonna say 4.
no it would go towards a 4, but there's still parts that it could be better at it. Like I was saying, the stuff with the exposition, the way that it does that, and it's still kind of sloppy. It's still like the TV show, and while I love the story behind it, there's still little ways where it could go in there that I would want it to be a little.
Yeah, I'm giving it leeway because
stronger.
it is a cartoon. If this was all live action,
Yeah,
it
if I
would
give
be
it the
like,
leeway, yeah, I don't. It doesn't earn yet enough for that leeway for me. It's close.
If it was
close
live
to a
action,
4.
what would you give it?
It would still. I think if it depends how the live action was presented, really. Because if it was the exact same way as this, it would still be at the 3.5. Because there would be the parts where it would look even. I mean, it would look even cheesier when they're jumping from the lip if they do the like kind of stall and the jump.
Yeah.
The gravity wasn't affecting them the way it should have.
Right.
Like even if they'd have to have more initial force to be able to get across, but they're kind of going slow and over. Anyway, that was a little thing that bugged me on the jump there. So like play with physics a little better. I don't care. Like, you can say that you have more strength and power.
The physics knocked it down that half star.
Yeah, okay.
It did. It's the thing of, like, I know it's not possible, but if it's going to be possible, just say that you have the strength to give yourself that quicker liftoff. That's going to give that. But the way that sometimes they like hang in air, like they're going too slow. They're having moon gravity here, and
maybe the gravity's different on this.
It could be different on that Earth.
Gotham,
Yeah. Well, the whole Earth is different in the DC universe. It doesn't take place in our same Earth as the Marvel universe does. So everything's all weird there. Although it kind of does, because they do have those cities. That DC universe is weird.
Well, they have the meshes every once in a while.
Yeah.
Marvel meets DC.
Yeah.
Just travel through one.
How about you? What do you get this thing?
I originally thought 3.5, and then I erred towards 4.
Yeah. I'd probably rate it a 4 on Netflix, because I have to do a solid rating. But, yeah, if I could, give it 3.5.
Yeah, but originally I wanted to say 3.5, but then, like, even not having to do a 0.5, I would say 4. Like, after I thought about it for a little bit, I was like, oh, no, actually, this was really good. This is pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Good story. Really good story.
That's good.
And I appreciate having a really good story. And on top of it, like, delivering a good story while having, like, good action in there. I mean, that's not the easiest thing to do. And I think you can do that. Like, I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
Oh god, they've got Battle Royale.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, they do.
But I'm not sure if I trust it on here. I watched Shaolin Soccer on here, and everything, like, I haven't picked Shaolin Soccer because I watched it on here, and the subtitles, like, it was just, everything was changed.
All I know is
subtitles are the same.
I watched it on here and I liked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm just going through these. I'm choosing next.
Are you choosing right now?
Oh, I thought,
What? Oh, is he able to do it next week? I thought he wasn't able to do it next week. They're going to wait for another 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
All right.
I think we should talk about Fringe,
Yeah,
because that show's awesome. I'm into season 2. Oh my god, it's so amazing.
Oh, what episode are you on?
I think like 5.
Okay, I gotta start watching it again. That's where I am. I gotta start watching it again.
Or we could do season 1 of Fringe. We could put that so that it is a bonus one. Or
no. Let's
we could talk about it as well.
continue our spiel.
Yeah, I was just saying how awesome it is.
Yeah.
If we want to pick it, one of us will pick it.
Oh, no.
That's how it is.
No, these are my watch it again, so everything under here.
Oh, so you've seen it?
No, I've seen everything in here. I'm just going through the stuff that I've seen because I rewatched one today, and I was debating about the one to watch that I've been wanting to pick for a long time.
There's so many good movies
But
out there. It's getting really difficult.
It is.
There's a lot of good stuff.
It is difficult. I think I'm gonna have to go. I'll do the one that is my second choice
For the last 3 times.
last 3 times. I rewatched it again today as I was checking. I think we can still get a good discussion of it. It's gonna be an interesting one. But if you guys have seen Barton Fink,
No.
you seen Barton Fink?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen Barton
It's
Fink?
on my queue also.
Barton Fink from 1991. Yes.
Don't read the description, I guess?
No, I'm sure you can read the description. Let me read the description
Yeah, I
really quickly.
You haven't seen it before?
Oh, yeah, don't read the description. Stupid last 3 words. Well, 2 words.
Isn't
really.
that great? Like,
The whole description's fine until the last 2 words. Like,
two
what?
words.
Really?
That's
Yeah, the
like-
last 2 words.
man
ruins
starts
it.
to discover himself until he realizes he's dead.
What? Like, how would you do that?
Why did you do that?
Intergalactic starfighting, and
there's-
Darth Vader's is dead.
There's this twist that happens at the end of the movie. They put in the last 2
Are you
words of the
serious?
thing. Yeah, so don't read the description.
Okay.
But I will tell you, it's a movie about a writer.
Yeah, isn't it based on like a true story?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good chance it might be. It is from a particular duo of directors.
Perhaps. Wait, who?
A particular duo of directors who very prolific in all of their stuff.
Wachowski brothers.
You mean siblings?
No, they're brothers. It's not the Wachowski brothers.
Oh yeah, he makes an ugly girl. Jesus.
I haven't
Let's-
seen the photos.
Horrible.
Hold on, let's still be friendly to Lana Wachowski in case she wants to come on the
No,
program.
not to be a dick, but I'm sorry, but she's not attractive.
You are particularly,
No.
in particular, not attracted to Lana Wachowski?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Okay.
I've seen some nice looking trannies.
Okay.
Do you know any
I don't know about
other
that.
director duos?
I don't doubt that I have
siblings.
siblings.
You know, can't think of any other directing siblings.
Huh?
Can't think of any other directing siblings.
Oh. I didn't know this was a test. The Wachowskis are instantly what you think of, obviously.
All right. Well, the other films that this group has done have included things like
I thought you were going to say included. No.
Raising Arizona,
That is
the Big Lebowski,
who did that?
No Country for Old Men.
I didn't.
Tom Hanks.
So we stopped playing these movie trivia games. The Coen Brothers.
Oh, right.
Joel
Joel
and
and
Coen
Coen Brothers. I'm like, I know there's another big one.
So I think that
I know
this is
it
one of those
does
films that it's a great one that they did. And, you know,
Yeah.
there's a good chance you hadn't
Pretty
seen
good
it.
things
Yeah, I
about
don't
it.
think...
Because like most people are familiar with, Big Lebowski.
Yeah. Well, with Coen Brothers, I think the reason I didn't think of Coen Brothers is like they're not my favorites.
Okay.
They're good. I mean,
Yeah. Well, check this one out. See,
not like Wachowski. Definitely my favorite duo. Like, as far as I'm concerned.
Forget stuff. Yeah.
I'm not one of those major
Not my
singers.
favorite tranny though.
No.
Who's your,
And on that
favorite tranny?
note,
Who's your favorite tranny?
Oh, the one that was supposed to be like Miss America, Rand. She's pretty hot, or he, whatever that is. There's some lady boys from Thailand.
Did he win?
Who were pretty. No, he got kicked out.
oh, did he get DQ'd?
DQ'd.
Disqualified?
Oh
Dairy
yeah.
Queen?
I was like Dairy Queen.
Totally
got Dairy Queen.
That's so fucked
And
up.
they're trying
What
to
was like
sue
the
him
official
and all this
ruling on
stuff.
it? Like, what the heck?
What didn't have ovaries? I don't know.
No ovaries. No
Ovaries make you a woman.
They do make you a woman,
What if you get cancer in your ovaries and you have to get them removed?
but
No
you
longer
originally
a woman.
had
You're
them.
no longer a woman.
No, you originally had them though.
Everyone originally has them.
People don't originally have ovaries.
In the womb, you all have both. And then one goes away.
I think you start off with a clit, and then it turns into a penis. I don't know about ovaries though.
Clit and penis is the same thing, though.
It's not the same thing.
No.
It starts
I'm
off
sure-
as the same thing. It's not the same thing.
Okay, yeah. See, it starts off the same thing.
That's what I said. It starts off as the same thing.
So welcome to this discussion on drunken biological debates.
Drunken biological debates.
Alright, thank you all for watching.
Yeah, that was a great note to end on.
Tune in next week.
This has been Batman Under the Red Hood.
Yeah.